Hello, hello, and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday here at the Rag Company Podcast. Nice to see you. Nice to see you back here. While the folks in the audience maybe weren't aware, you were actually out of town for a while, so this is your first day back in some time.
Thank you, Dane. Yeah, well, happy Q&A Thursday, everybody. I am back. I went on a little family vacay, and I am back in one piece, right? And that was the goal, right?
Yeah.
To make it back in good health. And yeah, excited to be here. So I'll probably touch up on that here in just a little bit. But welcome to Q&A Thursday, where we answer your detailing questions. Today's topic of discussion is going to be how to maintain microfiber towels, and we're going to jump into that here in just a little bit. And that includes how to wash them, maybe how to store them. Maybe should you wash them with light colors? Should you store them with light colors? Should you use them, abuse them, throw them away, and save them for a rainy day? Who knows? We're going to find out more in today's Q&A. So really quick, Dane, before we jump into this, we do have some housekeeping.
We do. So what is in that housekeeping? I mean, sale's over. Sorry, folks. If you missed it, I don't know how you missed it. We tried to make sure and tell everybody.
We did.
But if you didn't hear about it for some reason, you know what you should have done? You should have signed up for the Rag Company newsletter. I think that is the ultimate lesson here.
That is the lesson, Dane.
So what would they have seen if they signed up for the newsletter? And more importantly, if they're new here, how do they sign up for the newsletter?
So you can sign up for the newsletter by going to theragcompany.com and scrolling all the way down to the bottom there. And you're going to see a little part where it says having FOMO. It says don't miss out. It's time to get 15% off your next order. That's how to sign up for the newsletter. It's very easy to do. It's very worthwhile, and I highly recommend it. Now, as far as the sale goes, it was 20% off site-wide, almost everything. We had doorbusters, we had BOGOs, we had curated gift kits, we had all sorts of just amazing stuff that if you missed out, I'm sorry. Again, to Dane's point, we tried to send out quite a few emails this year just so nobody felt forgotten about.
Yeah.
And so it was a fantastic sale. We had a ton of fun. And I think that for the most part, right now, we're going to take some time to relax, de-stress,
decompress.
Thanks to Jeff and Carolyn. They did bring in some lunch today for everybody. So we had some delicious burgers, and there was also some sandwiches. And
I want to point out, the reason that stuff showed up is because huge thank you to our team who do fulfillment.
Yep.
That's a big reason. You guys put them to work. And work they most certainly did, a lot of it. So thank you again to everybody who's a part of that. And hopefully they enjoyed lunch today on us.
Absolutely. And so be looking for those orders. I mean, honestly, most of them are shipped out, or most of them are still shipping out. So, keep on the lookout within the next week, and you're going to receive your premium detailing products. So you can go and detail your car, your neighbor's car, your family's car.
Mine next.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot of time. Not a lot of time on your hands. You're gonna have a lot of product on your hands that you got to use. So other things besides that, obviously we're going into holiday season, right? And so if you missed out on purchasing holiday gifts, just know that you can still go to theragcompany.com. You can pick up some awesome merch. You can pick up some swag. I am wearing this really cool performance hoodie that is
everybody freaking loves these things.
Like company-wide, this is our favorite thing. I think like everybody has one on.
I need to buy one before they're all gone.
You do, Dane. You need to pick up a green one. I love this black one. I wore this for my entire trip, and it was like the best thing ever. So anyway, so outside of that, though, holiday season is here. We're going to have some themed stuff coming up, which we're really excited about. Sale-wise, we are going to have something in December. I mean, nothing too crazy, but it's definitely going to be something, especially if you're looking for last-minute gift ideas or if you're looking for things to get before the holidays. We're going to let you guys know what your cutoff date is for shipping to make sure that you receive your order in time. I think that's pretty much it for housekeeping. Just recovering from Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Thanksgiving. Dane, what did you do for Thanksgiving? Did you go to... Did you go to our favorite Cracker Barrel spot?
No.
Okay.
I actually went to my cousin's house where they were hosting for the first time. So it was all new experience for them, but different family members, not necessarily potluck style, but they brought their contributions for the dinner, and it was awesome. Everything went well.
What did you bring?
I brought cheer and my presents.
Dane, what the heck? Dane,
I offered,
Dane.
And they said, you know what? Actually, we're good because Corey, my little brother, he basically went above and beyond and covered anything I could have hoped to, because he went and made multiple pies of very high quality, because he went to school in France to learn pastry stuff. So that was like his whole thing. And they came out amazing. He did a really good job.
Well, that sounds amazing, but I'm more so disappointed in you, Dane. You are 35 years old.
Yes. Generally
you
speaking,
are in your mid-30s. There is no excuse to why you can't bring something to Thanksgiving
everything
dinner.
I offered, they're like, oh, you know what? No, that's okay. Somebody's already doing that. I was like, how about drinks? And they're like, nope, your aunt's got that. And I'm like, what about stuffing? And they're like, nope, your mom's already got that.
You couldn't have like snuck in a flask or like something to kind of stir up the pot a little bit. You couldn't have brought some new utensils or of anything.
I mean, I did, just for the sake of it, bought some White Claws on the off chance they might want to have some stuff.
That's a contribution.
But then they were like, actually, our fridge is full, so they already had a full, fridge of beverages of all kinds out in the fridge. Yeah, in a way. It wasn't anything personal. It was literally just, we got every base covered already.
All right. Fair enough. So I'm trying to think other than, so you did that on Thanksgiving, sorry. Yeah. And then Black Friday, did you do shopping for yourself? Because this is an important thing. I want to know, besides detailing products, was there anything you were looking for?
Well, it was kind of funny. I absolutely forgot what day it was on Friday.
Okay.
And I went out and I bought landscape lighting for my house at Home Depot, completely forgetting that I spent so many years working at Home Depot, doing like merchandising execution, all those things. I was very familiar with how Black Friday works there. And I was just walking in and like, why is it so busy? And then guess what day it is? Yeah, okay. That's why everybody's a little nuts today. But hey, I got my lighting. I was happy. It wasn't necessarily stuff on sale. I just had particular stuff I was looking for. I wanted solar, powered stuff. I didn't want to have to wire anything.
You splurge anything else?
Honestly,
electronics,
the lighting was enough.
A new knife set for yourself, right?
You let your phone go off during a podcast.
Sorry. Doctors, they're always calling. They always want to know what I'm up to nowadays.
Yeah, you and your back, man.
Anyway, so I guess I'll touch up based on kind of what I did before we jump into questions. So I went to California. I went to the deep south. So last Thursday, I was trying to find the nearest fan boat. Ideally, I was looking for a good crawfish feed of some sort, like a good crawfish boil. No boils could be found, and I was quite disappointed about that. But other than that, though, it was a pretty amazing time. So we went down to Oceanside, California, right? So that's going to be near the San Diego area. This is pretty hilarious, actually. I forgot that this story happened until I just remembered it. So this was like, how do I say this? My family, we don't go on trips too often together. Very, not very rarely, but like every few years we'll go on like a bigger family trip that includes my brother, my mom, my dad, my sister will usually meet up with us, or my brother-in-law will meet up with us, my wife, my daughter. It's kind of it's a big effort, right, to get that many people out to go do something. But the idea was go down to Oceanside to go have Thanksgiving there. My sister lives in Oceanside. She runs the Dutch Bros stands down in that area.
Right.
And the idea was to fly down there, go see them, have a Thanksgiving with them, and then go to Disneyland after that. Well, what ended up happening was we fly into San Diego, land there at the airport, and we go to get our rental car over at the Hertz. I believe it was like Hertz or Dollar or whatever the heck rental car. Thrifty. I think it was Thrifty.
Sure.
And we go to get a rental car there, and we're at the check-in line. And the guy's like, yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything under your last name. I'm not seeing anything under your last name. And it's my dad who booked the thing, my stepdad. And he's like, no, it's definitely on there. And the guy goes, did you pick the San Diego airport as a pickup? Or did you pick like the other nearest thing? My dad goes, well, I don't know. I just picked the what seemed in close vicinity.
He just clicked and went for the default.
And he goes, there. So see, it looks like you booked a car over at the border near Tijuana. And my dad's like, what the heck, right? Like, how did I do that? And so he's like, well, it's okay. Can we just move the reservation here? And the guy's like, oh, no, sir, it doesn't work like that. Your pricing is going to be way better there near Tijuana than it is here. So my dad was like, crap. So we had to like hang behind while my dad and my brother like literally took an Uber to basically the border of Tijuana to go
Probably for the cost of a day of a rental.
And and keep in mind, like I've never been that far south in the true deep south, but apparently
Wait, have you ever gone to Mexico at all?
Never been to Mexico, man.
You would
I know,
enjoy
what the
it.
heck? I would love it there. Seriously, I would.
Check out the beach. Baja's great. It's fun.
It's in the plans someday.
Okay.
But long story short, my brother and my dad, they go to this rental car place. It is literally, you know when you say like on the border?
Yeah.
It is on the border.
Oh, no, yeah.
No, like the back of the lot backs up to the wall.
And in fairness, San Diego's not that far from the
It's
border,
not.
so
It's like 30 minutes or something like that. But anyways,
it's like here to Caldwell.
They had to go and get the rental car and whatnot. But we ended up making it to Oceanside. We stayed in a super nice kind of like a hotel that was right kind of beachfront. And
Sweet.
It was a cool couple days. We got to go visit with my family, go do some kind of fun, dinners, lunches, things like that. And then we went and took my daughter to go see Moana 2 over there at the theater. And that was really fun. And then from there, we went to Anaheim. And the first day we were there in Anaheim, which was on Saturday, my wife was like, "We're going to do something you've always wanted to do." And I was like, "Well, what's that?" Right? It's my eyebrows raised. And she goes, "We're going to go to medieval times." And I go, medieval times? I've never been. You know what I mean? My only recollection of medieval times, like my only knowledge of medieval times, is from the one movie with Jim Carrey. The Cable Guy.
The Cable Guy. And what about Role Models? They did that. That too.
I think they did. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. I just remember the Cable Guy scene. I was like, no way. Right. So went to medieval times. I now have a good understanding. It's how do I say this? It's a crappy good time, right?
Yes. It's understood.
The goal is to get there, get a bunch of their alcoholic slushies, throw on the hats, and then go into the arena and prepare yourself for a show.
Well, I mean, we all know back in, the times of castles and knights, they had slushies around. So it just makes sense.
I can't remember what I got. I think I got like some type of like dragon warrior slushie, or I think that's what it was called, like a blue witch or something. It was something like that. But we went and saw the medieval times show, and it's so funny because like the actors, everybody takes it super seriously. It's like, which makes it a good show, right?
Yeah, they commit.
But to the people that are waiting you, or that are like passing out the plates and all that, their patience is like zero.
Think about let's just think for a moment about the sorts of people coming through medieval times. There's probably a high percentage of obnoxious people.
Well, and I asked the guy that was serving
the
guy that was serving drinks. I asked the guy that was serving drinks. I said, "Hey man, I'm like it's my first time here. I'm like, how many shows you guys doing per day?" And he goes, usually 2 shows per day, sometimes 3. I go, awesome, man. I'm like, well, how has it been for you today? He goes, honestly, not good. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, the last show I had a full section of recovering alcoholics, so nobody wanted to buy anything from me. And I was like, oh, well, don't you just like serve normal drinks? He goes, no, this is how I make my money. And I go, dang it.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Needless to say, I tipped him and I got myself a fancy mug to drink everything in. And
I'm doing my part.
We had eaten chicken with our hands and all that stuff. Like the food is like literally like a 5 out of 10, but like the experience is definitely.
I mean, it's like
there.
a great value picnic level of.
Well, like I want to see like the sword play. I want to see like the fighting and the jousting and stuff. But there was a lot of time where they just had horses doing like tricks and things, right? Not for me.
That was probably because they learned that, we got to throw in like some dressage and other things with the horses. Like maybe one person who was a trainer is like, I really want to show off my, whatever. And it became a part because the knights were getting tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like Anthony over there. They're like, dude, my back.
I could see
Too much
that.
jousting.
But regardless, it was a good time. So after we did that, when we went to Disneyland the following day with my entire family, we all met up there, and we had one day at Disneyland, and we did the full thing. I survived. I just sat whenever I could, basically, and and then went on the easy rides. Nothing super crazy, and it was a good time. It was actually a pretty calm day. It was a fun day, and then the next day we went to California Adventure. Also, pretty calm day. Not bad at all, right? And everything was going good there. We had lots of different foods and drinks and whatnot. And then the last day, we had one more day at Disneyland, which, for what it's worth, 3 days is a lot, man. 3 days is a lot if you're in good health. 3 days is a lot if you're is like more than enough if you're like not really functioning.
Sure.
So we got there on that third day. And it was packed. It was like the most packed I've ever seen. And what we ended up doing was asking for one of the lines. You can get like a later return time, meaning you can go up to one of the people and say, "Hey, I have a hard time standing in line for 50 minutes. Can we do a later return time where we return? I don't have to stand, but we're in the area and we can come back and ride the ride."
Yeah.
And I guess the lady who my wife was talking to was like, "Yeah, does he have like a visual disability?" And my wife was like "No."
Well, like your eyes, or like a disability that she can see.
Yeah, I was like, "Does he have a cane?" Right?
Oh, that's straight up discrimination.
And so
You can't
she's
be doing
asking my
that.
wife if I have a cane, and my wife's like, "No, he doesn't have a cane." She's like, "Is he in a wheelchair, or is there anything that would visually tell me that he's impaired?" And my wife's like, "I don't think you can ask that, right? I don't think that
No,
this is
I'm
something you can
pretty
ask."
sure that's a way that people wind up getting sued, is when you pull that kind of thing. I get it.
Yeah.
She's probably
Well, there's
tired
probably
of
a bunch
people
of
trying
people
to
work
cheat the system
Yeah,
all the time,
I get it.
kind of thing.
I understand.
The reaction is understandable. However, I think they are literally not allowed to do that.
Yeah. So, anyways, my wife went up to guest services and she was like, "Hey, so this just happened," and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like that person can't do that ever." And then they went, "What ride do you want to go on? Pick any ride other than this one ride, and I can get you in right now. You'll walk up to the front." So we're like, "No way!" So my wife picked Dumbo for my daughter, and literally, we walk up, show the person this thing on her phone. And she just goes, "Oh my gosh, right this way!" Like they open up the gate, they
There's
walk
like
us
some
in.
little code
They
on there
literally-
that's like
I think
you
they
will help
ended
this
the ride
person.
early just so I could go on there. And I'm like, "Wow, what the heck?" I'm like, "Why do we waste this on Dumbo?" I'm like, "Why couldn't we have done this on like a crazy ride?"
Because it's what your daughter wanted.
No, it was a really fun time, and we made it back home. We made it back last night, and needless to say, we're pretty exhausted, but I survived, so I'm pretty happy.
Oh, that's good.
That was Thanksgiving, and
All right.
and I didn't do any buying. I didn't do any purchasing. I spent all my money on churros.
Just churros?
I was looking at my checking account, dude. It was like $200 in churros. It's like crap. Like that's a lot of churros.
That's a lot of churros.
They're so good. They're so good. I also had a lot of beignets over at the you get those beignets over the mint julep, or not mint julep, whatever the heck it is, Tiana's place, and got a bunch of beignets. And I'm so stuffed. Like powder. I'm like sugared and powdered.
You're still full of
and
them.
doughed out right now. So
And on that note,
Let's do
why don't
this.
we get to some questions
Let's
that
do
have been
it.
popping up in the chat during this whole time period? I know, crazy idea on a show that's literally a Q&A. But hope you enjoyed that segment anyway, folks.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Just got back from the land of Hans K.
Ooh.
And my Black Friday order for me was waiting. Was it? Were you really, Dan Fife? Were you over
in the
there?
Netherlands?
You were in Holland?
Huh.
Were you?
Interesting.
Very
well,
nice.
That's cool. So
That's amazing.
What were you doing, or can you say?
Yeah. Did Hans capture you at all? Was there any chloroform
The
involved?
man with the dragon tattoo. Look out for him. He's dangerous.
Next up, Tamara says hello from New Hampshire. Tamara, what's
Hey,
going on?
Tamara. Always glad to see you here.
First from Puerto Rico, Humberto in the chat.
Oh, damn. There we go. Oh, another familiar face appears. Juice free.
We have juice.
This guy always popping into the convos. He's an amusing one, I must say. I see him pop up everywhere. Nobody knows who he is. All right, then we got Joey.
Ah, my favorites. Hello again. I hope you guys have had a wonderful holiday break. We did, Joey. Thank you very much. I ate a churro or 5 in your honor. That's what I did. I tried to actually stack them to get to the Joey Belinsky height and try to
Okay, nice.
eat them at the same time.
And did you succeed?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I
well,
didn't.
at least he tried.
Next
Next up, Carl.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, that's literally it. Nice to see you, Carl. CJ,
what's up, man? What's going on? Happy Thursday.
got some more hellos here. How is everyone on
Demo.
this chilly day?
Demo, when I was eating those Mickey Mouse beignets, I was thinking of you.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I bit into that powdered sugar delight, I was like, Demo would like these.
Demo has good taste.
Dude, I love myself some beignets. I'm just a sucker for doughy things. Super Auto 2K says, "What's up, guys and gals? What's going on?"
Hey.
Tamara,
Oh,
we had some snow today. Ugh. We also had some flurries today.
a little bit. The
It's-
inversion's starting to kick
dude,
in.
it's
Everything is
getting-
foggy.
It is way too cold outside.
It kicks hard though. Yeah, no, it feels way colder than I think it even is. Okay, Carl, chilly. It's a balmy 21 in Minnesota today. Well, I mean,
Ooh.
it's Minnesota, so.
Yeah. Don't you know?
Yeah, don't you know?
What's up, everybody? Says Anna. What's going on?
Hey, Anna.
Good to see you.
Always glad to see you here. Superado.
I was in Erie, PA for the holiday and got snowed in with 3 feet of snow in less than 2 days.
Okay. That actually, I know, some people are really sensitive about snow. I love snow. I wish we got more snow. We don't
Dane.
really here. But
If it wasn't for your love of snow, then there wouldn't be half the snow tires sold here in the valley.
I know, I buy them all.
I know, for no reason.
The snow tire fiend.
A lot of snow, Susanna.
This is really compelling chat, guys.
Mike says, snowing here. I am all where I am also. Yay, drivers who don't know how to drive in the snow and go 20 miles an hour on the highway. So here's the hard part.
Invest in snow tires, and then you won't have to worry as much.
Dude, here's my thoughts. You have confident drivers in the snow
who shouldn't be confident.
You have confident, meaning like you are confident in your abilities to navigate the snow properly.
Me.
Then you have overly confident people who drive like absolute, D-bags, and literally those are the guys that crash.
The people who don't understand the concept of inertia.
But because you have those guys who, I've been elevator turn my whole life. I know how to drive in snow. And then they hit black ice. And I go, what do you do now? What's your plan now as you're sliding out of control into a light pole? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Eventually, someday, all those people get hit with a told you so.
Yeah. It's like, so, but then you have the super, like, non-confident, like scared for the life, white knuckling the steering wheel people, and those people shouldn't be driving either.
Those people are equally dangerous in a way because they provide a rolling roadblock.
But here's what you have: you have the rolling roadblock, then you have the overly confident people. The overly confident people get more pissed off from these slow pokes here.
Guess what? They both end up in a ditch,
and then they both end up in a freaking ditch, right? So I think
sliding through an intersection at 5 miles an hour, just.
I think there needs to be like lesson in traction. There needs to be like some type of like simulator that like depicts what loss of traction feels like, so people know what that's like and what to do in certain scenarios.
Okay, and I'm just gonna say it because in your heads, I'm sure many people already hear the little voice, but 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive on their own will not save you. Proper tire tread meant for not only good traction in certain conditions, but also good compound for your tires that works in lower temperatures is very important. Hence why I'm such an advocate for snow tires, for winter rated tires, that kind of thing. It's a big deal to me anyway, because you can do so much with a set of winter tires. Even if you only have a 2-wheel drive vehicle, you can absolutely dominate compared to somebody who's extremely confident with all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, even a smarter modern system, if they are on summer tires or bald tires. Let's be real.
Potentially, Dane, but I drove a Miata a year and a half ago with Hankook RS3s on it and like a foot of snow.
Yeah.
I did it.
You know
safely.
Why? The Miata weighs nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
It just floats up on top.
Floats.
You throw a bag or two of sand in the trunk, though, those things are actually great at going through snow. They are definitely capable.
So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is give grace to the people who truly, like, they are scared for their life. They probably shouldn't be driving. And then just know how to, like, identify the D-bags that are just completely they're driving like there's nothing on the ground. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like people are like their driving habits don't change at all with snow on the ground. They just continue driving like a D-bag.
They're the same people no matter what the climate outside's doing.
I'm like, dude, you're about to get into a horrible wreck. But
some people are very mild too until they get behind the wheel, and then they're just like a demon for some
It's just
reason.
not worth wrecking. It's not worth wrecking your car, and it's not worth getting your car wrecked into in the snow, because it seems 10 times more chaotic to get into a car accident when it's snowing than it would if it wasn't snowing.
And as we learned, remember when we went to Georgia back in like 2020, and we saved that gal in that smart car thanks to quick work there, spotting her.
She was white knuckled,
pushing that thing. She was terrified.
She was terrified.
Everybody had bald tires, and the reason was
terrified for her life.
In Georgia, like nobody had tires really meant for the snow. They were all driving on like, it's fine, it's always mild here. We don't have that really going on, and it caught them off guard. But the real problem was looky-loos going by were causing more accidents, being distracted by the cars that got stuck in the road. Whole other issue. So what I'm really trying to say here, guys, is be safe out there, be mindful of your surroundings, and just be very, very aware of the conditions you're operating in.
True. Next up,
All right.
we've got
Simple. We got Ryan Brignan saying, yo.
Yo. What's going on, Ryan?
And then Juice Free here, still wanting his apron.
Dope apron with a plastic lined pocket for a clay bar. Juice, your expectations or your requirements for these things are just getting more and more crazy.
It's slowly getting more
you want
detailed.
a lined pocket for a clay bar? Not a bad idea.
It's a new touch. I like it.
I like that. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. We almost have a full product here.
Yeah, these are all the iterations. Just keep developing it, and then when you're done, we'll talk.
Mike says, I tried ordering Force 5 liter, but it was sold out. Dang it.
What? Oh.
Force 5 liter, dude. It's
Forced
amazing.
is awesome product.
If you missed the Black Friday sale, use promo Joey10, which is a valid promo, technically.
Yeah, you can use it.
That code does work.
Joey is a real person with a real code.
Carson Black says, shout out to the fulfillment team.
Good man, Carson, looking out.
Agreed.
Neil with an afternoon TRC. Right back at you, Neil. Glad to have you here. Alex Dewar, somebody very familiar with snow.
Happy Friday Eve to my favorite people. Love you all. Love you, Alex.
Love you right back.
One of our favorite Canadians.
Absolutely.
And then Travis says, what would be the best towel combination for applying PNS Defender?
Have at it.
So you could really use you can use a lot of different towels, but I would say between the FTW, the Creature, the 365, all of those are going to be a pretty killer towel for that application. And then the Ultra Rip and Rags, the pearls. The XLs, I should say, Ultra Rip and Rag XLs would be great for applying a Defender as well. The thing is you want to kind of stay away from a higher pile towel with the Defender, just for the fact that you're going to you might be pushing a little bit of product around, and you may not be able to really knock that product down enough, right? You're going to be kind of dragging and pulling it around with like an eagle, for example. So what I would do is apply Defender with something like a Pearl, something like an FTW, something like a 365, and then make sure you're spreading it all in, applying it like you want to. Then you can come back with an Ultra Plush and really enjoy the benefits of that, that really low surface tension and feeling the slickness, but also at the same time picking up any residual stuff. So, you can do like a 1-2 punch, but for the most part, here in the office, we grab the Rip and Rag XLs, the Pearls, and we just send it, and we just use them.
Quick go-to.
Use them, abuse them, and then we demote them. PNS Defender does have a high SiO2. There's just quite a bit more SiO2 in that than bead maker, so you're for sure going to seal up some towels. So just plan on demoting what you would use if you're doing a full application.
Bam. And Joey agreed. FTW.
Yep.
All day long.
Yep. Just get it in the wash
towel.
after you're done. Some rags to riches, or spray it down with some rags to riches.
Yeah.
Alex says a Corey pie would hit different.
He makes good ones. All right.
Much
Anna.
better than the American pies. Anna Longfield says, I did stuffing, green beans, and brought drinks and Hawaiian rolls.
Classic.
Anna, my kind of person, bringing the Hawaiian rolls.
I always forget that you could actually, heat up Hawaiian rolls if you wanted to, but literally nobody does. They just bring them straight out of the package.
Nah, dude. You can.
That's like a kid's number one thing. Just grab it like it's a giant marshmallow and just.
Also, what you can do is you can take a Hawaiian roll, right? Just don't break it away. Just pull the whole vat out, right? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it on like a little baking sheet, right? And you are going to just put it in the oven at like a warming amount, not like a cooking amount. You're gonna put it at like whatever it is, 200 degrees. Or
You're
something like
super lightly toasting it.
Just let it warm up, right? And then what you're gonna do is
you're
gonna melt some butter.
Oh, here we go.
With a little bit of brown sugar, right?
Here we go.
And you're gonna mix that in. And you're gonna take your little baster thing, your little brush, right? Detail Factory brush or brush, and then brush over the butter with the brown sugar over the top, right? And then let it just
a little fine glaze.
Yes, let it kind of dwell, and when it's super soft and doughy, you just pull it apart, and then you just bite into the top.
Money.
Amazing.
Also, I think Anthony's just thinking about churros again. He wants cinnamon.
I know. I'm thinking about the dough again. The gluten is I can't get it off my mind.
It's just getting them more. Anna, that's great though.
Yeah.
David
says thoughts on the new winter wash OPT touchless decon wash to remove most of the salt. Okay. 5-minute dwell, 2 rinse, absolute rinseless using TRC Ultra Safe Sponge, Beadmaker's drying aid. Yeah. Totally.
Solid.
There's nothing wrong there.
I'm not seeing anything really missing.
I would still pre-spray. You didn't say it in the line, but I would still pre-spray the rinseless just in case. So,
Sure.
Because I'm guessing you're gonna rinse and then you'd go straight into a rinseless. You could totally do that if you wanted to, with water still on the surface. Just depends on how cold it is. But you can also just have a separate sprayer mixed up with some Absolute, and then just go over the top of any existing water, right? Spray it or pump spray it or however you want to do it, and then go in with your Ultra Safe sponge. And I think that would give you another little extra barrier protection.
On the touchless decon wash front, that'll probably be strong enough for most things. However, if you have like really caked on like salt and just road grime stuff like that, you may want to move to like a stronger APC or something. You can still neutralize it when you're done using rinseless, but it's just one of those things for like the areas, especially around the edges of like wheel wells, fender flares, that kind of stuff. You're going to get kind of collection of caked on just stuff that you want to break down. And if you don't want to physically agitate it too much, you want to use more of the chemicals to try and do that. Just a good APC, even like Forced or something, you could definitely just
Green Star,
go nuts.
Like that,
yeah. All right. So you're on the right track, David. Josh.
Hello, everyone. It's been in the 50s the past few mornings in Miami.
In Miami.
Okay. So a little cooler there.
Yeah, I mean, by your guys' standards, that's probably really cold.
Alex says Tijuana rental vibes. That is the truth right there.
You boys like Mexico?
My brother said that there was actually a taco stand like right next to the
That's
he said
perfect.
It did look really, really good, but he said that they were overpriced. And I'm like, how do you know if something's overpriced, especially if you're on the Tijuana border? He goes, because I think if you were to go across the border, he's like, those tacos would be half that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, fair enough. And he's been to Mexico multiple times. So I'm like, if anybody's going to know, he will.
Sure.
Mike says, not much, Joey. Staying warm inside today and avoiding the fools on the road. Yep.
Oof. Yeah, feel that.
Be careful. And then Josh said he had to put on his baseball hat.
Oh, man.
Don't get
Real
too
chilly
cold
out there. Got to keep the old ears warm, but
and
the baseball
then
hat's not
Aaron
gonna do
says,
that.
yo, JB, you feel that earthquake. We heard about
right.
the earthquake in California today.
It's right after you left. Kind of suspicious.
Got the tsunami warning. What the heck?
Whoa.
That's crazy. What's like, okay, what is... Weather's not really my thing. How...
You have to live with it one way or another. How can it not be a thing for you?
Because I want to understand this. Hurricanes...
Yes.
Hurricanes, we primarily see inflict the Atlantic side over near Florida, New Orleans.
Well, that's because when
there.
they're over there, they're called hurricanes. They're called something else when they're on the West Coast. They're called like...
Is it called a tsunami?
No. Tsunami is a wave.
Okay, so
it's a giant ocean wave generally caused by seismic.
But doesn't there's
activity.
not also rain with tsunamis and stuff like that, or not at all?
Well, no, tsunami. It's a greater symptom of other things, but a tsunami is the wave with the actual storm surge of water coming in.
And it's usually caused by an earthquake or something like that.
Usually caused by an earthquake, which is why you see it in a lot of Asian countries, and on like the West Coast is more common over there because of generally those conditions.
Correct.
But, yeah, usually tied to an earthquake or other kind of large like shock event that would cause that. Like, okay, like if a big bomb went off in the ocean or something when they were doing testing back in the 50s and 60s, there were like giant waves caused by that too.
But not categorized as tsunami.
Well, it depends.
But
I'm not a scientist.
But here in the U.S., we don't have monsoons.
Monsoon is different. Monsoon is like heavy rainy season.
So heavy rainy season, that's just not something that we have over here. It's not our climate.
It's different.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to get to? I'm trying to understand, right, the categories of the weather specifically coming from waterfronts on both sides and the
Generally
different variations
speaking,
of those.
the West Coast of the United States, just the whole West Coast, pretty chill overall.
Pretty chill.
Just pretty chill. Now, somebody's going to be correcting me in the comments and saying, like, wrong on terminology on something. I'm not a meteorologist either. I just know what I've heard.
The reason why I'm bringing this up, do you want to know why I'm bringing this up? Because I watched Twisters on the plane.
Here we go.
Watched Twisters on the plane. Not my favorite. I thought that was a very American appealing movie. I thought that had like one goal. It was to be like, let's appeal to as many Americans as possible, right? And I think, but like kind of on like the same front of like Top Gun, like Maverick, right? But Top Gun Maverick killed it.
I was going to say, arguably, Maverick was more successful.
Maverick was amazing, right? But Twisters, like I watched it and I was like, okay, YouTube.
But the original
the
Twister
whole
is such
thing.
an iconic movie. It's hard. Plus, it has Philip Seymour Hoffman. You're just not gonna.
Yeah,
Love that guy.
I know, but I just the Twisters movie with what's his name? I'm
Glenn Powell.
I don't think I'm a huge Glenn Powell fan.
He just
there's something about his.
He's got
face.
one of those
There's something
faces.
He's
got one of those faces
dude.
where you're like,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't need, it doesn't have to be negative or positive. You're just like this guy.
Yeah, dude,
This guy.
Face.
He's just such a guy.
He's a guy, dude.
He's just a guy.
He's a guy, and I guess I'm just not that big of a fan of him. But I just don't know. The whole movie was just a little bit.
It's this area right here, and like how much it just like dips. Like the chin is very. Anyway, being super judgmental, we're not trying to body shape here, but
No.
he's got one of those faces where you're just looking to go, okay, I don't want to say it's a punchable face, but I'm just it's in the neighborhood of like those kinds of
exactly
faces.
what it is. It's a punchable face.
And hey,
He's just-
I'm
the high,
fully
he has the high
cognizant
school
I may
bully
have one of
face.
those faces too.
He has the high school bully face.
Kind of does.
That's exactly what it is.
But like classic all-American bully kind of thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought the Twisters was very American. It was just very.
Which it's funny that
Dodge
you're focusing on
Ram.
him because guess who's in both of those movies?
Who?
Glenn Powell is in both Top Gun Maverick and.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So no, I knew. So I knew he was in Top Gun, and I hate him in Top Gun Maverick, right?
But you were supposed to in that.
I know, but like they made me hate him in everything else.
And then he
they
redeemed
were
himself
successful.
again. Anyway, we're going off topic as we usually
I don't
do.
know. What were your thoughts on Twisters? I thought it was a 6 out of 10 movie, maybe a 5.5.
I give it a 6 because on entertainment value, I thought they did a good job. But the problem was it was so much of a let's just paint by numbers, kind of copy the original movie while pretending we're not. It was that. Like when you get to the actual like power, the power facility and that giant chemical factory and everything's going down, you're like,
it was like a
okay,
fire tornado.
In your brain, you're just like, I am watching a movie right now. Like there's no escaping that.
I just couldn't believe that they were in a freaking TRX and they couldn't beat what was that, a third gen? It was like a third gen Cummins, or I don't even know what it was, like a 2500 or whatever it was. But I'm like, you're in a TRX, and he's like, come on, floor it. He's like, I'm trying. I'm like, you're in a 700 horsepower.
If that's not enough, I have terrible news. There's nothing left. There's nothing else.
It's like the fastest truck that you can be in right now. And what do you mean?
I mean, short of like a
him?
Rivian or a Hummer EV with the quad motor setup, the Rivian with the quad motor setup, you're not going.
But you know what I'm saying though. When you saw that, you're like, I'm like, this shouldn't be a struggle. And I'm like, and you're telling me too that Dodge probably paid for some advertising, or they just chose to use Dodges, whatever.
Well, there's a lot of Mopar because in the original movie it was tons of GM stuff. Tons of GM.
No, it was
stuff.
I thought it was a second gen Ram.
No, the Ram was the primary vehicle.
Yeah.
However, all the bad guys drove Suburbans and Tahoes, and like there was an Astrovan. And one of the coolest ones out of that whole movie was actually that Jeep J10 pickup. Really badass truck.
Yeah,
it looked cool. Anyway,
I wish there was like a supercharger whine or something they would have added
really
to the TRX because it didn't even sound like a truck. It just sounded like a normal traffic.
Well, whoever did the audio mixing on that, they really focused on the weather events, not so much on the vehicles.
Anyway, sorry. There was a tangent there. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. This weekend I was watching all that new Senna series on Netflix and enjoying that. I really liked it. Yeah, I liked it. It was well done, honestly.
I will have to watch it.
Next up, where are we?
Hey, Ragsers. How come your big, thick drying rag only comes in red? I like all my rags in gray, white, or black. The 1500 was just always made to be in red. Have you tried out the Gauntlet yet? If you haven't tried out the Gauntlet, it may fit your color style.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 1500, it's that one was always meant to be in red. It's never say never. It could come in other colors down the road. But yeah, the 1500 is definitely probably our thickest that we have. The Gauntlet would come secondary to that, or the Liquidator would technically come in secondary to that.
1500 is going to be the most popular of its kind, but the Liquidator overall is probably the most popular drying towel currently in our lineup. The Gauntlet, though, the Gauntlet's kind of like the big dog. That's the one. Yeah. For a lot of people. So if you're looking for like the Primo one, that's going to be it. And it's the color scheme, like you said, of what you're looking for. Yep. Try it out if you haven't already.
Next up.
All right. Then we got Joey.
I have 4 1500s. I think I'm safe. Okay. Joey's good.
Yeah, no, he's going to soak up that tsunami before it hits.
The Meridian Marmot says, do you guys have any other opinions on micro twist loop towels that some other manufacturers have? Any chance of TRC are carrying one like that? So we actually, fun fact, we got our first micro twist sample 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we got our first micro twist sample. And it was a single-sided micro twist, and we used it. And we, honestly, we weren't that impressed by it. And the main reason is that with the micro twist, you don't have that safety pile that you're looking for when it comes to drying something that could potentially have some dirt still on the surface, right?
It kind of feels like using suede, like micro suede in a way, the way that it looks on the texture.
You have no breakaway. You have no breakaway until you literally bend the towel in half, or you fold it in half to see where dirt or other particulates could go, right?
But the trade-off is you do get probably a cleaner pass when you do that. No, not even that. Because generally,
you don't.
If you have a longer pile, you're going to have more potential for streaking, whereas tighter, shorter pile is going to give
micro
you a
twist
finish.
So the backer on a micro twist, right, is going to be more dense, right? So your backer, your towel backer, right? So what happens is the micro twist is not going to be as pliable as a longer twist, right?
Okay.
And so basically when you have, we call it like a breakaway, right? So when the towel is able to break, right? They're like my jeans, right? There's a break in the jeans, right? Jeans are a little bit stiff to have a break in them, right? Especially if they're, freshly washed or whatever. But the more you wear them, the more you use them, the break could get easier and cleaner. But what's nice is that a floppier twist loop, like let's just say our FTW or our 1500 or a liquidator, right? It has that weight, has that density. It's going to be able to really kind of land and let that body sit on the surface, and all those elongated fibers and loops they're going to do a more efficient job at absorbing everything. And also, I just think it just feels so much better. So now that's not to say that we may never, ever not come out with a micro twist loop. We would probably just do it different than any other manufacturer has done it. And that's the reason why we didn't want to make one in the first place years ago when we first got our sample, because it wasn't better than the liquidator, for example, or it wasn't better than our twist and shout at that time. And so it was kind of like, are we just making this just to make it kind of thing?
And that's not really a position you want to be in when you're us. You don't want to just make something for the sake of making it and not try. But I will say this is something that people do get hung up on sometimes. When you have like those smaller, shorter pile twist loops and stuff, you're not generating the same amount of surface area for absorption as you would if you had longer piles with more, exposed surface area for absorbing. So, I mean, totally one-to-one comparison, if you're talking about the same size towel, but one has like a longer loop pile like what we generally use in a liquidator or something, you're going to be able to absorb more.
I think there's a certain size of a loop that makes the most sense. And on the micro twist, I just don't like the way they feel. I don't like the way they feel on the surface. I feel like I'm missing a lot of water when I'm using them. Like, for example, it kind of just feels like almost chamois like, right? And like it kind of feels like the absorber before it's like actually absorbed any water. And I feel like when I'm dragging a micro twist over the surface, I don't feel like it's getting into all the divots and it's getting into all the cracks and crevices like it would with a 1500 liquidator. So, anyways, those are my thoughts on it. We've known about the micro twist for many, many years.
Yeah.
Dan Pfeiffer says, yes, I was actually in the Netherlands, Amsterdam. Bretta Rygen was there for business.
I'll just call it Ryan because I don't know any better.
Nice, Dan. Well, awesome. Glad you were able to go there, man. Hopefully, you got some nice some Stroop waffles while you were there.
Yeah,
ideally.
Good stuff. David,
what's going on?
Cervantes, what's up, guys? Nice to see you, David. Oh, shout out to Gabe and Carson, says Meridian Marmot.
Thank you.
Back to talking temperatures. We'll have some comments in here, don't worry. Neil.
Let's see. Hey, Neil. Oh, hey, Anthony. I've seen your vids on headlight restoration. Have you had issues with oxidation coming back months later? I asked Matt Marmon his opinion. He said to buy new headlights. LOL.
That is the Matt answer, generally speaking. What are you wasting your time on that for? Just buy a new one.
Generally speaking, right, if the UV protection has failed, in the clear, right, then yes, they will yellow again, right? So basically, in the clear coat that's laid on over headlights, right, to protect them from oxidizing and from yellowing. Once those UV protectors break down, at that point you can buff off the haze and you can buff off the oxidation, but you're just going to be right back to where you were in probably a few months, and that's just normal. The best case scenario would be that you would restore the headlights to the best of your abilities with what clear is left. You don't have to remove all the clear. You can simply sand down what you can and polish them up, get them crystal clear, and then PPF them. And they can't oxidize if air can't get to them, right? And they will not yellow. You're literally entrapping that clarity in PPF. And every job that we've done with PPF has held up. Hasn't oxidized again. Won't oxidize for probably another, 10 years until the PPF fails, and then it comes off and you put a new piece on. But it really doesn't matter what protectant you put on it. If it's not 2K clear, everything will fail. It could be the fanciest ceramic coating that there is. They will fail again. Cerakote has essentially the wipe on clear, which I don't know what that clear is rated for, but I know that is a better option than a coating for sure. I don't like the clarity of it. I don't like the way it looks. I think it looks kind of tacky, but it does work. So you could go about that method, and you could use that if you wanted to, and it will offer protection. It just, you have to lay it on right since it is essentially a wipe on clear. But 2K clear is going to be your next best bet there in terms of longevity, but PPF usually is number one.
Nice. Then I've got Jeff C. here, always with the thoughtful comments. In my never-ending quest to find a product that can actually stick to my Nokian snow tires. Good call on the Nokians. I loved my Hakkapelitas when I had them. ADS Ghost seems to be a winner. Road salt and grind cleans right off with rinseless alone.
Dude, Ghost is killer, man. I haven't applied Ghost to any of my tires, mainly for the fact that I haven't really done any major decon on any of my wheels in a while. But I know that Brodel put Ghost on his tires, and Josh Petro had put Ghost on his tires almost 3 weeks ago. Dude, those things look
like
amazing.
The day they applied it.
Look like the day they applied it. It's amazing. It looks so good. It's good stuff. Yeah.
No, that is awesome. So I guess that's a new standard for you then. Mike. I grew up driving rear-wheel drive vehicles and learned to drive in the snow by doing donuts in parking lots. Mike, you and me, it sounds like we're brothers from another mother. I literally learned to drive during a particularly snowy season. That's when my driving school was, and my tests were conducted on ice and snowy streets all around Boise here. So that's why I'm generally pretty confident in the snow, because my driving school and everything timed out perfectly to where I had the worst conditions, and I figured if you can do that, you can manage everything else.
Yep,
so
true.
Moving along, David, I also agree.
Winter tires, front-wheel drive all season, and 4x4 / all-wheel drive. Yep.
Basically just saying, even if you're two-wheel drive, it's still better than going with 4x4 all-wheel drive if the tires are not equal and you have winter tires on that two-wheel drive setup.
Dude, on my Civic back in the day, I'd studded snow tires. I'd studded, they were Wild Peaks or whatever they were.
Sure.
And I think they were not Wild Peaks.
Wild Peaks are generally a truck tire.
No. Sorry. They weren't Blizzaks. They were something else, but they were studded. Something had Wild in the name. I don't know if they were Falcon. I don't know what the heck they were, but
Falcon usually uses Wild for stuff.
I don't know what the heck they were called, but holy crap, though, dude! Those studded snow tires on that little Honda Civic,
thing
just gripped and ripped, man.
That was
awesome.
On your hatch?
No, that was on the red Civic.
Oh, on the red.
It was on snow tires when I bought the car.
Oh shoot, that's right. Yeah, because you bought it that time of year. That's true. No, that thing really did a number on that, so I get it. Rocky lives on, or Rocky Iverson, continuing
Rocky
with
Iverson
the
says,
joke.
hit that like button. Rocky Iverson ordered the Metrovac, the cordless one, the
one that you liked
one
at SEMA.
I'm excited to see what he thinks.
Okay, well, tell us about it, Rocky. When
I
you
love
get
it. I love it. I want to order one because that's that would be perfect for what I need. And so yeah, we'll see someday.
Minimal strain on the old back.
It's just they're not cheap, man. They're not cheap.
Oh sure.
Joey B, my brother, my teacher-sized brother.
I think you meant reacher size. Although teacher size is funnier. Alex Dewar here. Defensive winter driving needs to be mandatory. Snow tires. Let's go.
I'd like to see Alex as a driving school instructor. I think he'd actually be very patient and very nice.
He would be a sage, advisor. I like that. He would. No, Alex, you should consider that. Just come down to the States and places where you're needed.
Aloha,
Aloha,
Rocky Iverson. Aloha.
And then David, with an excellent point, looking out for others.
Don't get distracted by the flashing lights on the side of the road. Don't hit a first responder or tow truck driver. Yes, don't. Don't do that at all.
No, absolutely. You can briefly look just to make sure you're not potentially going to run into a hazard, but apart from that, you should really pay attention to what's in front of you on the road and what's in your immediate, cross sights periphery, because too many people, they just fully crane their neck, the rubber neck, and next thing they know, they're rear-ending somebody, and you're causing new problems, and the emergency crews just have that much harder of a job. And oh my gosh, Rocky here, speaking Anthony's language. I can't imagine a world in which you would say no.
Might have the opportunity to pick up an R34 Skyline to have a lineup. What's the thoughts? Do it. If it's a 2-door, do it. 4 doors, I'm not into.
I was going to say, he says R34 Skyline, which implies the greater range. He's not saying GTR.
No.
It could be a GTT. It could be a GTST. It could be.
It could just be the base model Skyline R34, and that's fine too. Just don't get the 4-door. The 4-door, I think, are going to have the worst resale value. Unfortunately,
the 4 doors are really best when used as their like 2-wheel drive drift car cells. Like when you use them like that, like Adam LZ did. That makes sense. Yeah. That's cool. But yeah, no, you got to go 2-door if you're going to get them. Anna.
Are y'all talking about moving manufacturing because of impending tariffs? At this time, no. We're going to continue manufacturing.
And remember, we have multiple factories we deal with. And it's not just China. There's South Korea involved as well. And the other thing is, just to avoid being too reactionary about anything, we're always thinking about, as a global company, what we have to do to be able to maximize the value that you guys get, that we get out of it. The whole thing has to make sense. So we're not just reacting every time there's new news. We're just like, oh no, what do we do now? We're always trying to think further ahead than that. Yeah. So generally speaking, we try and think about this stuff well in advance if these kinds of things need to happen. And granted, you can't know the future really, but you can still prepare. So having contingencies in place makes sense. I'm not saying never, but I'm also not saying anything's happening anytime soon either, because we're still in a good place. So that's pretty much it for now.
Agreed.
All right. Anna, that was the one I just posted. I got Rocky.
It says, aloha, my Canadian cohort, Mr. Dewar.
Absolutely.
And then, have we played with the DPT maintenance product yet? I have not, actually, to be honest with you. I have not played with them. We have, I know Gabe has some on his desk. I've been gone. We haven't had a lot of time to do some in-house detailing. The last time we were doing it, we were testing a different product line, which was like a week and a half ago. Would it be frowned upon to paint correct, enhance a vehicle, and hit it with Defender and Bead Maker? No, not at all.
That's a totally normal, acceptable thing to do. Are you just assuming it's frowned upon because you're not applying like a coating or something? Is that it? I'm assuming that's what you mean. Think about it in this way. A lot of people, when they're doing corrections, if they're using like Uno Protect or Uno Advanced, something like that, you're doing correction, but you're also applying protection that way too. And technically, in the case of Advanced, it's really like a coating. I get that, but it's still different than if you're going the full bore, like, okay, we're going to break out the blocks and we're going to do the application. Yeah. It's different. There's nothing to be frowned upon there. So I'm not sure where you got that impression, but I don't want people feeling like there's a stigma to it or anything.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, there's not.
Subarado says, we finally dug out the snow in Erie on Monday and drove both an RV and a Camaro back to Georgia through 3 more snowstorms in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Dang it.
Was the Camaro exciting?
Dang. That would be exciting.
What kind of tires were on it? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so you guys are getting all the snowstorms.
Everybody's
We
getting
haven't gotten
snow.
anything yet. We got a sprinkle today because of the inversion, but nothing actually stayed on the ground.
Yeah. Rocky Iverson says, catch the live tomorrow on the detail grind. Those are two good gentlemen and great friends. Yes.
Agreed. We love those guys.
Check out their live. It's going to be a good time.
They do a good job. And I heard, hope I'm not blowing up their spot, I heard somebody we know is going to be on it soon. So
I hope it's not Gabe.
Oh boy, you're going to be disappointed.
Dang it.
Yeah, see, Joey.
Gabriel. You guys have to call him Gabriel on there.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't-
he
don't
loves
call
that.
Don't call him Gabe.
Don't call him Mr. Garcia.
Call him Mr. Garcia or call him Gabriel. One or the other. It's your choice.
If you call him Mr. Garcia, you're immediately conceding the high ground to him. And as we all know, Star Wars taught us you should always maintain your high ground.
Yeah, I have the high ground, Anakin. Demo says, tell Gabe that I am enjoying my performance zip hoodie. Even I look good in it. Demo, I bet you look amazing in it. And I think
Yes.
all of you could also look amazing in it as well, except theradcompany.com. You can still pick this up while it's available. We absolutely love these.
Everybody loves those things.
It's one of our
crazy.
favorite creations.
Also, what is going on with the pockets right now on yours? You have a bit of a growth or something. Okay. I was going to say it's
a hernia.
Oh, okay.
Gnarly hernia.
It kind of looked like you had your own tsunami going
Something
on
was
there.
popping through there, right?
Ay, for the people watching the video. Okay, Anna Longfield.
Heating up the Hawaiian rolls is the move, and I'm telling you, a little bit of butter, a little bit of brown sugar over the top. Find your nearest bathroom, locate it. Dan Pfeiffer says, is Defender similar to C2V3? How often do you use Defender? Interested in trying out. So Defender is different than C2V3 in the fact that Defender is going to be a little bit more, how do I say this? You're going to get a lot more slickness immediately out of Defender than you are going to get out of C2V3. I think Defender has a little bit more body to it. I think it has a warmer look. C2V3 for me has always just been a very easy to use topper for something like CSL XO or as a standalone product. I don't think C2V3 is going to have anywhere near the durability that Defender has. Some people could argue it and say C2V3 does have the durability, especially with a full decon and a wash and a prep and all of that. But I haven't seen anybody go through the full steps of a wash, a polish, clay, all that stuff to apply C2V3. There's just no reason to. They're either going to use a long-term sealant, a longer-term sealant, or they're going to jump into a coating. And so C2V3, I think, was not meant to be a long-term spray sealant in the first place. I think it was designed to be a maintenance topper for CSL and XO and Halo. But Defender really raises the bar in terms of long-term spray sealants. And it's also really easy to use. And so that's the thing about Defender is that it's so easy to use and it has a nice pleasant smell to it. And it works great in conjunction with, if you want to top it with bead maker later on, you could do that. So yeah, I think they were different products marketed for different purposes. But with that said, C2V4 is in the works.
Remember, the V stands for version.
So the version 4 is in the works, and so I'm excited to try that out.
Okay. Good to know. Now, moving up the line here, we've got Jay Hall.
I hope you enjoyed O-Side. Where's your sister's coffee shop location?
He wants to visit, I guess.
She, her and my brother-in-law, they are the, what do I call them? I can't, I'm the shop owners.
The proprietors.
They are the, there's a word for it.
It's more than a manager,
yeah,
but it's not an owner
operators.
either.
Operators is what they're called.
You hear about an owner-operator, they're just the operator part of it.
So they're the operators of the Dutch Bros over off of, I think it's the Oceanside Avenue or somewhere around there. It's right next to like the big lots across the street from, I don't know what the heck that
Feels
place
like you're
is.
going to sing a Yellow Card song or something.
Yeah, like it's like kind of by the Wiener Schnitzel, and there's some other things over there near Oceanside, but yeah, they run that, and it's the first Dutch Bros stand. It was the first most Southern California Dutch Bros stand there was, and they run that, and they also have another one on, what the heck is it called? There's not a mall. It's some other street name that they have. There's 2 locations, and they're the operators of both of them, and yeah, it's the most The Oceanside location is the most successful and highest grossing stand in the country
For Dutch Bros. Wow. That's and they all tend to be pretty busy, but that that one must be particularly busy.
They are the highest grossing shop there, and so needless to say, my sister's very busy all the time. But yeah, that's where the location is, and she loves working there. There's like 90 employees, so I doubt you would see my sister, but her name's Caitlin. If you ever pass through there and say, hey, fan of your brother, the Rag Company.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll get you a free drink or anything, but she might just say
she might charge you more.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, Anthony?
She goes,
sorry, that's
Anthony
gonna be...
still owes me money from Thanksgiving. And,
there's a gratuity now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better if you don't mention it. Anna Longfield.
Anna, has Anthony experienced Texas Roadhouse rolls? Yes. Anna.
You definitely have.
That's where I got the idea from. That's where I was like, I'm going to put this over the top of it. So the Texas Roadhouse rolls and the cinnamon butter, that cinnamon butter is it, dude. It is. Dean, I know you hate chains, but have you been to Texas Roadhouse?
Yes. I don't hate chains. I just don't like chains.
You literally have a tattoo that says, I hate chains.
Well, it's not like they can see it.
It's on your entire back. A full back tat.
You ever wonder why I don't show you that? Gee, that's the reason. No chains. Oh, wait, that might be... anyway.
Anyways, chain restaurants. Superado says, with that being our first snow experience like that, what are your top suggestions for cleaning both the coated Camaro and the non-coated RV? They're absolutely filthy. If you can... try to do a pre-wash of some sort. Green Star and GSF, GFX. You could just do a forced pre-treatment. You can do a pre-treatment with Power Clean. The idea is, when you get that much filth, especially when it comes to the snow and all of that, what you're getting is not just road grime and dirt, but you're getting what's this effect of this buildup effect, right? So the car's wet. Cool. So you go through some slush, you go through some stuff, then it's dry. So you pick up some crud, then you pick up some more slow and slush, slow and slush, and the car gets wet again. Slush. So basically what you're getting is you're getting wet, dirt, dry, wet, dirt, dry, wet, dirt, dry, wet, dirt, dry, and it's just stacking on top of itself, and it gets really gritty. And so what you want to find is a good cleaning combination that's going to penetrate that dirt, penetrate any salt, penetrate any of that grime, and then get behind it and really start breaking it down and get that to be able to be lifted from the surface. And then you can safely rinse it off or pressure wash it, or then jump into a foam wash. But you just want to be smart about the pre-cleaners that you're choosing, but also make sure you're using something that's effective enough. I mean, don't be afraid, but don't think that like a pH neutral shampoo is going to do anything. It might do something, but it's not going to do what maybe something a little bit more alkalinity can do. So, again, a nice splash of Green Star to the mix might be a good choice if you're going to snow foam it anyways.
No, that's a good point. And we are a little past the halfway point. We have reached that point. So, what happens when we do that?
Well, Dane, we're going to go to a brief break. We're going to hear some messages from ourselves, from our friends, and some commercials from reputable brands here in the industry. But don't go anywhere. We're going to be back. We're going to grab some snacks, some drinks, and we'll see you guys here in the second half.
Hit the like while you wait. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Q&A Thursday here at the Rag Company podcast. Now, before we go anywhere, make sure you hit that like button. Really helps us out in the algorithm. Thank you for your, I wouldn't call it sign language, but whatever you're doing over there, it's helping miming, perhaps a little bit of that. Yes, click like, please, while you're here, because you've enjoyed it this far, and I promise you're just going to enjoy the rest of it as well. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, what are you doing? Even if you're new here, I promise if you've hung out this long, you're going to like what we do here. So, anyway, moving along.
Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. We guarantee it.
Sure. I got comments, I got questions, I got all that good stuff here waiting for you and we're going to get to them.
So we got that. So really quick, I just want to touch base. I know I spoke about this earlier, and we talked about rag stretches and microfiber washing and storing and all of that. So we wanted to touch upon that topic, and
yes.
I don't necessarily want to talk about something that you guys have no interest in, but if
Sure.
you guys have any questions about microfiber washing and care or like storage solutions and things like that, I'm just bringing it up because I've been thinking about different storage solutions for myself and different maintenance routines for myself for my towels, as right now I'm kind of pulling a Levi at my house, and I have some of the towels in totes. I have all my other towels in a garbage bag. They're clean, but like that's not me. That's not what Anthony does. Right? So it might be time for me to go through my towels and figure out a different categorization strategy of some sort. And so
towel storage.
If you have questions, if you have, if that's a topic we want to jump into, just know that option is out there. Aaron Bauer says, going on a road trip, what are some must-haves? I have just a 256 Absolute in a spray bottle, so 256 to 1 dilution in a spray bottle, and some Rip and Rags. 3 hours to destinations and 3 hours back home, so I could always wash the car at home. Not a bad option.
Yeah.
What I would probably recommend is I'd probably have Absolute. I think Absolute's totally fine in a spray bottle. 256 to 1, there's nothing wrong with that. I would also have something that maybe has a little bit more cleaning ability and a little bit more lubricity. So maybe something like a waterless wash. And the only reason why I say this is because sometimes waterless washes will also have a little bit of UV protection inside them. Also, as well, they'll add a little bit of slickness. So they may actually clean the surface and keep the surface staying cleaner longer due to the change in surface tension. And so maybe there won't be as many bugs that, splatter themselves completely on that surface and like make life hard for you. So for example, OptiClean is a great option for you. Does have some UV inhibitors, leave a little bit of protection behind, cleans really well. And then we have Adapt waterless wash, right, from Armor Detail Supply, and Adapt also is going to have a little bit of SiO2 in there for a little bit of protection. That's a killer waterless wash. I really, really like that stuff. And then we also have the Eco Wash from, Epic. What the heck? Why can't I think right now? Not Eco Wash. PNS. Why can't I think? Epic waterless wash, right? Which is going to be another great option there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Then
my mind is Disney fried right now.
Disneyfied Disney fried.
It's Disneyfied Disney fried. But you know what I didn't see there? Freaking Patton Oswalt wasn't there this year. That was gonna be like an annual tradition where me and Patton hang out.
Just meet him randomly in another art gallery
in downtown Disney and just be like, Patton, dude, what's going on? Dude, long time no see. He's like, oh, Anthony.
And you just get your yearly selfie with him.
And I look at him like, Dad. He's like, I am not your dad.
He's just like, have you seen how tall I am?
Are you sure? Next up here.
Love that. All right.
Aaron says, looking for something for the bugs. Maybe. Yep. There we go.
Okay.
I must have been reading your mind.
Bam.
Mike says, hey, can somebody explain what muffin tops are? Are these West U.S. things or something? Keep hearing about them elsewhere. Apparently the definition is different than what I was.
Well, it has a few meanings.
I think it's literally the top of a muffin. I think that's it.
There are literally people who will just like bake muffin tops like as a treat, kind of thing. It's just like, that's the part of the muffin. Like, you ever... Okay, maybe this just says a lot about me, but it used to be my parents would go to Costco, they'd get muffins, and I'd literally take the muffin and I would just eat the entire top half, just like one bite, just like see how much I could eat the one thing. Just go get that muffin top just like that, and then the bottom is the less interesting part.
Okay.
It's just, that's not where the action is.
Dane, my love for Costco muffins is unreal.
But make sure when there's a 2-for-1 deal, you bring both, or else they will sick the Costco police.
The bagels. I don't know the bagel policy was there.
The bagel policy. The bagel police.
Sir, you have to grab the bag. No, it's okay.
No, I really don't. No, you need both. Otherwise, our inventory gets screwed up.
Listen, ma'am, it's very busy. You can have my other pack. She's like, no,
no, it doesn't work like that,
check you
sir.
Out without two. I'm like, I don't want the other freaking muffin. I don't want the other bagel pack.
So insane.
This is ridiculous.
And then the same thing happened to me when I got muffins there one time. They did the exact same thing to me as your bagel policy.
There's a muffin policy?
A muffled policy. Beware the muffle policy. Sounds like a children's book.
Yeah. The muffle shuffle is what that is, dude.
Okay, it's definitely the second half.
Yeah.
This is afternoon activities.
So, my favorite Costco muffin, I know that nobody asked this at all, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Dude, the poppy seed.
Oh, yeah.
Those poppy seed muffins are like shut up.
What about those like apple sugar ones?
Nope, those are trash. Throw those
You don't
straight in the
like
garbage.
those?
Yep.
Okay. I'm a blueberry muffin guy
No.
personally myself. I love the blueberries.
No, my favorite combo was the chocolate, poppy seed, blueberry.
See, I stayed away from the chocolate because even in my like child brain, I thought that's the unhealthy one. Don't.
Oh
have
no,
that
it
one.
is.
They're
It's
all
not- yeah, it's not
equally.
a healthy
They're all
muffin.
equally unhealthy for you, but it's okay. I felt better eating the blueberry because I'm like, there's berries in there.
No, dude. Like the other ones.
I can rationalize this.
My when I went and stayed with my Portuguese father, right? You know, on the weekends, he was big into the banana nut ones. So they had like banana nut
Okay.
muffins there. So he wouldn't buy the poppy seeds, wouldn't buy the chocolate, wouldn't buy the blueberry. He goes, "No, Anthony, this is the one that you're gonna eat because it's healthy." And I'm like, "What?
It's a muffin. It's inherently not
It's
healthy."
not healthy at all." He goes, "It has nuts on it with protein, and you have bananas. That's gonna fill you up."
You know how you make an unhealthy thing
I'm like,
healthy?
this is just like banana bread. It's all this is just. It's not healthy. But in his mind, it was the healthier option amongst the three, because he thought that poppy seeds gave you a trip. He thought that blueberries were a wasteful fruit, even though it's full of antioxidants.
He probably
And
thought
then-
carrot cake helped your eyesight.
And then he thought, well, no, he did think drinking wine, me as a child, trying to feed me wine was a healthy thing. But,
Oh,
yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
like we got a little to unpack there.
Yeah, there's a little bit, right? So, but the chocolate muffins, that was definitely just a dessert, dude. Those are not. That's not a breakfast food at all. But
No.
I love Costco muffins. If anybody has one in your fridge or freezer, next time you take a bite of that thing, just remember and think of me,
Okay.
and know that I would also like to eat one, but I'm trying to cut back on that stuff. I mean that kind
Yeah.
of, minus
Yeah.
the gas station burrito I had a few hours later, or a few hours
and all
earlier.
the churros in Disneyland.
No, the churros don't count, though. The Disney calories don't count. You're walking them off.
Oh,
No, like somebody did the math out there. Like technically, like
Wow.
it cancels itself out.
what a perfect system.
Yeah, it was a perfect system.
No, honey, I can rationalize this.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Anna Longfield with the very helpful typhoon/cyclone are the hurricanes in the Pacific. Yes, correct.
Okay.
So now you are definitely jogging the memory, and that's totally right. For some reason, I wanted to say typhoon, and I didn't because my brain was like monsoon typhoon, but I was also thinking about GMC pickup and SUV performance vehicles from the early 90s, and I know they spelt it differently for like copyright reasons, but anyway. It was
Copyright.
just
You can't copyright
well,
it.
they trademarked it like Cyclone. They did SYC instead of CYC, that kind of thing.
gotcha.
And the Typhoon was the Jimmy based one. That was the SUV, and the Cyclone was the pickup.
Yeah.
Both of them are still very cool in my mind.
Okay.
But anyway, moving along here, Joey.
Says Aaron Bauer says that's not a road trip. That's how much driving I'm doing today to attend my company holiday party.
Company. Oh, right.
That's
yeah.
that's what happens when you work for the Big
I was
Apple.
gonna say
though.
his company is a little nicer than some companies.
Yeah.
Follows up. It's when my love handles spill over my pants, looks like a muffin. Yeah, so when people talk about muffin tops, if they're not talking about literally the tops of muffins, then they're probably talking about the effect of when you have, well, let's just say your waist may be a little tighter, the pants are a little tighter, but the fat and skin above that kind of hangs over.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you got a little gut kind of thing. Totally normal. Hey, speaking as someone who's, working on that,
Yeah.
fully aware. But love handle, gut, yeah, that's essentially your muffin top. People have different versions. All right, moving along. Carl F. A muffin top is what happens when I gain 20 pounds, but I don't go up a size in pants. Oh, Carl, I get it. Changing to a desk job after years of doing manual labor definitely has its effects.
The original Twister was better, in my opinion, and Glenn Powell has such a bland-looking face too.
It's that chin, just
I'm
that.
telling you, it's the face. I'm gonna adjust my pants over here. That's not the face.
I'm
man. I don't know what
trying. How do I stretch out this? Like, it's weird. It's like very long. Like bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin is very long, visually long distance.
Like he definitely has like that Disney
but
prince
there's that
kind of
smirk.
look. But
there's always that smirk.
It's that smirk where I go, "You're evil."
I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy.
No,
I'm sure he's
an
a
evil character.
perfectly nice person.
No.
Perfectly nice person.
G-Technic bug remover is awesome, says Neil White. Yep. Carl F. says Malta-Meal is making a cereal called Blueberry Muffin Tops, and it'll look like the top of a muffin in cereal form. Pretty good, but didn't last long. Interesting.
In a world of sugary cereals, that seems like a good concept. I'm surprised it didn't take off.
How Glenn Powell acted in Top Gun was how he looks like he would act in normal life.
Bully vibes. just smirky bully vibes.
Exactly.
Man.
Twisters isn't the same without Bill Paxton.
Oh, that's true. Bill Paxton really did help make the original movie. Oh, there was a lot of good in that.
JB from the Bay Area to Tahoe is a road trip to me, LOL.
I mean, the scenery does change quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you
enjoy Tahoe.
That's a beautiful area, but the traffic sucks.
One of my favorite things about Tahoe is I think I've always stopped at either the Cabela's or the Bass Pro Shop there to use the restroom, use the facilities on road trips. It's like the nicest.
Yeah.
No, it's super nice. And there's nobody ever in there.
It's probably why you like it.
Yeah, but like I've always known, like road trip, I'm like, my goal is to get to Lake Tahoe or to get past through Reno, right. On the way to Tahoe. And then
because you got the Nevada side of Tahoe, and then you got the California side of Tahoe.
Yeah, and my goal is always.
And you can definitely tell when you're on one side versus the other. At least when you cross the border, and you get to the Nevada side, and suddenly casinos everywhere.
Yep.
Aaron Power, I agree with Neil on the G-Tech bug remover. Says Carl, yes. Mike.
Hello, Joey, and Carl. That's my understood definition, but apparently now it's a food.
I mean, muffin. It literally always was the... Anyway, continuing on.
The dually Burb was the coolest looking vehicle in the original.
That was very cool. Levi would definitely approve of that.
Yep. They sell just the tops of muffins. I don't discriminate and eat the whole muffin.
There you go. Okay. Joey, when you have a reacher-sized body, you got to eat the whole muffin. That's just the way it works. How do you think
you got to that size in the first place?
I mean, eating full muffins.
Muffins, yeah.
Don't stop at the top. All right, Neil, Twister was a Dodge commercial. Very much so, like very intentionally so, when it came to the introduction of the Ram and how new it was at the time, that new body style for the second gens. Definitely. I mean, that's such an iconic look.
It is. As a driver of one, I know what you're saying, Dane.
But at the same time, there was also a heavy GM influence on the bad guy side in that movie and how coordinated it looked. If you don't think GM had a hand in that, well, I think there was a lot of product placement in a lot of places in that movie. And that was at a time when it wasn't as common. I mean, Jurassic Park kind of had it. Like, some of those movies right around the mid-'90s, early 90s was when you were starting to see more of that.
Yeah.
Before, it was, like, really heavy-handed. You have, like, one scene where somebody's, like, in front of a Pepsi logo or something, and it was just, like, super prominent. It's like, oh, gee, I wonder what's going on here. And then you had, like, the Michael Bay Transformers movies, and those were one giant commercial. Rocky.
Also, boys, on hurricane that starts from Asia is called a typhoon, and I think it's the rotation of the hurricane.
Interesting.
The more we know.
The more you know. Aaron Bauer. Neil, does G-Technic need to be rinsed off? Not looking to pull over to a self-serve. Car is coated for 6 months, but may apply a sealant to the front half of the car, hoping them bugs will slide off.
I do think the G-Technic bug remover should be rinsed off, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's going to be a little more aggressive just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Okay. Neil White definitely says, yeah. Moving along. Rocky.
Also, statistically, it's been shown when the water temperature in the oceans will dictate where more hurricanes will be per year prior to hurricane season.
Well, and I know the water in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Atlantic was like super warm compared to how it normally is. I mean, even by the standards of everything getting warmer, it was significantly warmer this year, which is why we ended up with the storms we ended up with.
Yeah.
That did wreak havoc, so not an accident. But Neil.
It takes a few minutes to break down the bugs. I don't know if any bug removers where you leave it on the paint. Yep, most of them need to be rinsed off. Agreed.
All right, simple enough. Then Rocky.
Coming from the middle of the Pacific, trust me, this is something that is very important to learn. Yes.
Oh, I imagine so, yeah. I mean, my education was spent living up in the tippy top corner of Washington State. So, I mean, we got a lot of the Pacific stuff up there, but kind of tied with British Columbia, Canada. So, whatever they got, we got pretty much. But, yeah, if you're in the middle of the Pacific, it's, yeah, the Aloha, you're going to get a lot of action down there, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anna?
Says, I grew up in Oklahoma. They nailed how Twisters sound, lost the plot from the original movie.
That's a good one about the sound, though, yeah.
I didn't really think about that. I didn't really think about that at all, actually.
I know.
I don't know how Twisters. I don't know how a tornado even sounds.
I know how the sirens, have a very particular sound, and like some people, I mean, it's designed to kind of make the hair on the back of your neck stand up and like pay attention. But man, there was something about them that just terrified me as a kid. Just hearing the sound of those sirens, like air raid siren or like a tornado siren, real freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like core memory. Mike.
Check out Nysol Temper Road.
Nysol.
It's like a temporary film you apply to your bumper or front end for road trip protection. Does come right off in the rain, though. I didn't even know Nysol, I don't know how the heck to say it. I didn't know they had that.
That's cool.
That's cool, though.
Aaron Bauer.
Aaron says, I can bring a 3-liter pump sprayer with rinseless, but that's the best I can do to rinse off bug remover. I know pressure washing. You could do that as well, Aaron. If you have enough product in there that can thoroughly rinse it, that's totally fine.
Sure. And once again, he's talking about a 3-hour trip. I mean, it's not that bad. You can handle that for sure.
Dane, go for it.
Dino over here saying, what's up, boys and girls? Just chimed in to say hello. Just finished repainting a rear quarter on a Volkswagen. So cold, I had to do it twice.
Ooh.
First time clear runs all over.
Oh, no.
Second, only one run. Yeah, boy.
There we go.
Nice. So I take it you're doing this outdoors or just a really cold shop? What's going on here, buddy? It sounds like it's not necessarily a paint booth. David.
So I purchased Rehab, and so far I'm impressed. However, I have found it has not cut 1,500 grit sand scratches on very soft fresh paint, but will probably cured fresh paint. Any tips on pads? Not really. I haven't used it obviously on fresh paint, on soft fresh paint. But as far as pads go, gosh, Rupa's Yellow Wool is still my favorite. I feel like that's just my pad. It just is. It's like one of my favorite pads. I know Sydney still really likes it with the Blue Buff and Shine pad. She has good luck with that. I think really there's no real advice we can give you on pads, but I would try to see if the 1,500 could be pulled out with try going foam if you haven't gone foam and see what that does. See if it stays a little bit, I don't know. So I wonder if the friction helps there, or you could try to go with a wool and see if the cooler cut will help. And you could also do like a spritz of water on the pad as well and see if that pulls it out properly.
Okay.
I'll just play around with it. Rehab is just there's so many options. You can, the world is your oyster with that product.
It's versatile. Can't
Very
be mad
versatile.
at that. Jeff C.
Dane, go for it.
Okay, good explanation on the micro twist loops. I bought one of those expensive ones that some people rave about. Didn't get the appeal for the reasons you mentioned. Gifted it to a friend.
Nice.
Liquidator for me.
Yep.
Jeff,
Yeah,
you
micro
get it.
twist wasn't my favorite.
But it's different strokes for different folks. So, we're not going to fault you if you do find that you like it. It's just for the specific reason stated. That's why you don't see one in our lineup.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Rocky here saying it just shipped out yesterday. I believe referring to the
Nice.
Skyline.
Nice. Okay.
And Tom, how long is RRW stable in a bucket? Is it similar time as ONR?
I think ONR stays more stable in the bucket for longer, personally.
Makes sense.
I think RRW, longest we've really had it here in the shop has been probably a week. Yeah, about a week. And at that point, it does kind of have a little bit of a smell to it. Nothing crazy bad, but like
They just tend to
usually
collect.
by that time we're kind of done with it. And so we've used it for multiple adjacent washes back to back with no issues in terms of like using the same product. But yeah, I just think that O&R for some reason, I don't know if it's just purely based off of scent or just, truly just the
I think
chemistry
it
of
comes
it.
back to the simplicity of the chemistry of
But
it.
O&R does seem to be more stable for longer in a bucket.
And for obvious reasons, we have way more experience with that one in more conditions.
Yeah.
And just, like an Omni lid
For better,
on a bucket.
for better or worse, we've had O&R buckets sit around
we know
the
what
shop
a
for many years.
many months long, even over a year in some cases, O&R bucket, just what it was like when you crack that sucker open and you go, especially if you have dirt or something resting at the bottom of it and it just that earthy kind of mixture.
Like, what was growing in here, right? We started a new
It's crazy.
ecosystem inside this bucket.
Well, unfortunately, sometimes you'll have a big shop and forget that you put a bucket back there, and maybe the lid wasn't fully secured on it, and maybe a rodent fell in.
Yeah, possibly.
Not a good scenario. Just gross. But that's not the O&R's fault. All right, Rocky, 4-door.
4-door. Dang it.
But my next question: what color? And what trim?
I just know that the 4-door R34s are going to be much more
Well, the resale's
obtainable.
not going to be in the same ballpark.
No, I think it's just going to be a very obtainable JDM car. But like, I just never fell in love with the 4-door because it's truly a narrower body. Like the 2-door at least has some hips to it.
More the box
Not
flares.
GTR hips, but it has something to it. But the 4-door, it just kind of takes away all of that.
That's fair. I mean, you still got the cool R34 front and rear clip,
Yeah,
but
you still do that.
The bumper design differs a little from the
so
R,
you-
obviously.
So, aftermarket Z-Tune fenders or whatever, you could do a bunch of different stuff.
Oh no, when people dress them up with like GTR style parts
Yeah.
and stuff on it, they look dope. They can look very
Even
cool.
a GTR wing on the 4-door looks okay.
Yeah. But the hard part, and I think it's illustrated by the 2-door versus the 4-door. When you're driving the 4-door, you really are reminded of the fact that you're essentially just driving a 90s Nissan. Like it's one that we didn't get here in the States, certainly, but it's still of that era. It's of that kind of build quality, which actually at the time, I mean, they were still built well, but you're just dealing with a lot of plastics and vinyls and things. It's the normal stuff. But you know that already because you're looking at it, so you get it. As someone who had an imported van myself and knowing like the cheap parts and the not so cheap parts, but I loved it. I loved it so much.
It was a good van name.
It was a good van.
Ire says, there's the lads. Greeting from Fort Ire, pronounced air.
Air.
There we
Air.
go. Pronounced air.
I like that. Ere. Finally, we get a pronunciation on your name. Thank you.
So, Ere from Fort Ere, which he is, probably at the top
I'm
of
not
his
going to stop
castle.
saying that now.
He's probably enjoying his leftover Thanksgiving feast.
So Anna correcting on the point about the Dutch Bro standard franchisee / operator. Now it's just kind of a very specific finagly thing they got worked out about how they, operate that. But yeah, they're the operators. Ere. Okay, we got to call him Ere now.
Says, lads, how would you guys go about removing dark side from tires when you really want to strip the tire back to bare bones? Always appreciated. Really, just
Tire brush.
yeah, you got to get yourself a really good tire brush. I mean, that's like number one.
Chemical isn't going to be enough. Like, you have to agitate.
Get yourself a killer tire brush. Get yourself a fantastic tire cleaner. But over there, I mean, you have Forest over there, right? I mean, you'd be able to pick up Forest pretty
access
easily.
to Forest.
Forest paired with a good tire brush, you'll be able to remove all that. 100%.
That's the go-to
You're
move.
just gonna keep scrubbing, keep going and going and going until that Forest is just frothing white, and at that point you should be pretty clean.
All right, sweet. I got Anna here.
That explains a lot. Dane Anthony knows what's up. Cinnamon butter is the best. Cinnamon butter is fantastic. But I'm telling you, that brown sugar butter on top of Hawaiian roll.
Yeah. So just so you understand where my feelings on chains originate, it's mostly to do with the, let's say, Sizzlers of the world, the Chili's of the world, the Olive Gardens of the world. You know the kinds of chains
nothing wrong with Olive
I'm
Garden because when
talking
you're there,
about.
your family, Dane.
You know exactly the kinds of chains I'm talking about, where they're owned by some giant corporate conglomerate, whatever, something or other. But it's just kind of samey. I mean, hey, different strokes for different folks, as I've said many times. But of my own personal opinions, I'm going to seek out a mom and pop if I can find it. You know, a local spot that's cool that you can only find in your town because that's the only one there is at that given place. Because the people who run it, you know, that they're putting their heart and soul into it, right?
Yeah.
And restaurants, I mean, I get why you wind up with these big corporate restaurants is because it's hard. It's expensive running restaurants, and they tend not to succeed. So when you do succeed, they wind up turning into franchises or giant chains.
Dane, one of these days we're going to have our own restaurant together. Me, you, perhaps your brother.
Levi will be a silent partner.
Levi will be a silent partner. Levi will be there. We'll have his picture on the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know what our restaurant would sell.
He's still alive.
Yeah. I don't know what we would sell there, but we would have some kind of delicious food options.
Well, there would definitely be chicken wings. We know that.
Chicken wings.
Yeah,
yes.
you're always going to have your wings.
Portuguese beans.
It's going to be a weird restaurant, but
yeah,
to us, it'll make sense.
Baked goods.
And now muffin tops.
White Claws. Muffin tops.
Muffin tops. You know, as we go along with this show, we'll keep coming up with new items for the menu. So thank you in advance.
Ere says, usually 1, maybe 2 rounds of Carpo tire will take it off. Okay.
Says Carl to Ere. There we go.
Okay.
And then Ere's response, cheers, Carl. You're a star. How nice. And then Ronnie Yacht saying, hello.
Ron, how's it going?
Good
Thanks
to
for
see
chiming
you,
in.
Ron. Thank you for popping in. Jeff C.
Says, I caved in, wait for you guys to get OPT Touchless Decon and Faux Minar. I'm going to test it with some of that winter crust compared to Build Handlers Touchless.
Yeah.
Forced. Do it, Jeff, and I don't blame you.
Have
Dude.
at it.
You're totally okay.
And the conditions where you are going to be different than what we have here. So we're definitely curious to hear your findings.
Now, let it rip.
You're great.
Give us your thoughts.
At your breakdowns on that stuff. So please share in the Rag Company Facebook group, which, by the way, if you didn't know, we have a Facebook group where people can start conversations and talk about stuff when the Q&A is not active. You can just keep going in there.
It's true.
You'll see a lot of the familiar faces.
Ron says, had our first snowfall, used Absolute and IK sprayer to knock down the salt. Nice, Ron. Right. Good job.
Boom.
Anthony was emoting.
I always hit like.
I always hit like because I like.
And then it's a little angel with a halo.
Guys,
nice.
I cannot wait to shave my face. I hate
You're
this
rocking the shadow. You need to grow out a beard. We need to find out what Anthony looks like with an actual, like, well-kept beard.
Oh, I should have shaved. I should have brought in a mustache today.
No, your mustaches are the worst thing ever.
No, they're beautiful, Dane.
No, they're horrific. You really shouldn't do them. But if you go with full facial hair, then... And look, you're not patchy up there. I was complimenting because you actually have the ability to grow hair up here.
What's that word when you get kind of like antsy and you get a little bit like my facial hair?
It's a little itchy, scratchy.
I could just feel it by looking at myself in
sandpaper.
This thing.
He just keeps looking.
I hate it, man. I was like, it's got to go.
So tighten up the lines, shave, the lines, tighten up the shape.
Should I do a chin strap? What if I did a chin strap, Dave?
Oh no.
Just a super pencil thin chin
like
strap.
Me in high school. Can't be doing that.
And have it go up to a goatee.
No, that is unfortunate.
I think that would go pretty hard.
Nathan, with a great point, because he heard you talking. Yes, please talk about storage solutions. Nathan
Let's do it.
Wants the goods. Nathan Godinez needs to hear the goods.
Right now I'm using the Rubbermaid totes right now. So I'm using clear totes because I like to be able to see the towels that are in them. So some people like visually would not like the way that looks. And I kind of agree. Mine have the black lid, clear tote. I don't know if it's a Sterlite bin or whatever the heck it is, or if it's a Rubbermaid, but all I know is I've had them forever. And these are the ones that have the collapsible clamp. So you put the lid on and then it clamps together, right? So it creates a pretty sturdy hold onto the container. But what I don't like is that more often than not, I'm not doing as much folded laundry, nice organization of my towels. Okay. I am separating them into my storage bins and just giving them purpose, right? I'm saying, here's my interior and glass towels, here's my exterior stuff, and here's my my polishing and whatever stuff, or my wheels and dirty jobs towels.
Okay.
So my problem though with this is that, again, I have too many towels, so I need to figure out how to let go of certain towels and send them on their way, because I just kind of keep hoarding all this stuff. But I need to go through those. But my current process right now is I'm currently washing with like purposes within my washing machine. So rags to riches, I'm using 1 to 2 ounces depending on the load size, and I am using not like colors, but just like purpose, meaning that if I have my interior towels, I'm washing all my interior towels together. If I have my exterior stuff, my wash mitts and drying towels, I'm washing those together. My dirty job towels get washed on their own, and my polish and compound removal towels get washed on their own. Glass is something that I don't use the specific glass towels that Herringbone weaves at my house. I have like FTWs, or I'll have like Dry Me Rivers.
Yeah.
Those I'm totally fine with washing with my other interior towels. I've never had an issue because they're usually washed with like 365s. And those always hold up great. And so I never really have to do a whole lot of separation there. But what I'm finding is I do my wash, I dry, and then I'm grabbing this essentially trash bag that I've thrown them in, and just kind of shoving them back into these totes and then clamping the thing back together. But what that's doing is it makes it harder for me to identify which towels I'm wanting to pull, which towels I need for the job, and then also just finding some of the towels, right? Like I'll be like in one of the bins and I go, what the heck? I had a liquidator in the bottom of this bin the whole time, but it was facing the other way, so I couldn't see it. So realistically, totes are a great option if organization and using the specific towel for the job, quickly is not your highest priority. But I do think that the totes, even if you're more organized, are great because it prevents contamination of the towels, right?
Okay.
And so for me, that's a big thing, because even though I could have, let's just say, towels in a locker or towels in a drawer or towels in something, they don't feel as clean to me for some reason, knowing that they're not coming from a pure sealed tote, right? Because they really are. They're going straight from my dryer into a sealed tote, right? Or into a garbage bag and then out to the garage and then into a sealed tote.
They're not exposed to the dust and debris floating in the air.
So that's just me, but not everybody's going to have that same thought process. So some people are totally fine with just folding the towels and putting them up on a shelf or putting them into some type of cabinet system or whatever. But I don't like having my towels necessarily exposed in the garage. Like, I don't like having them completely exposed just due to like dust collection and stuff. So,
well, and think about the stuff that goes on in your garage. Your garage is routinely exposed to the outdoors because you're opening and closing your garage doors all the time to bring cars in and out. It's just the environmental stuff. You're getting a lot more of that in there than you even are in the main parts of your house.
True. So it really comes down to figuring out what is your most accessible way to access the towels, access your wash mitts, access your drying towels and big stuff, but also reducing clutter and learning how to let go of the towels that you truly aren't going to need or not going to use. So what I've done in the past, and this is what I need to do again, is when I've demoted towels, I usually take those towels and I like throw them somewhere into a cabinet or into another separate bin, and I say, I'm going to use these a few more times. I'm going to clean up oil with these. I'm going to do this with them, and then I'm going to let them go. Or I offer them, if they're nice, if they're decent looking towels, I asked my wife, I said, hey, are we doing any house cleaning? Do you need any of these for mirrors or anything like that? So you can use them, abuse them, and then throw them away at the end of their life. That's another option. But right now, what I'm saying is that my bins, my totes are currently on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So they're right underneath my, my toolbox where my stand-up workbench is, right?
Sure.
And I would like that space for something else.
Yeah.
But I need to figure out where these totes are going to go. So, I've racked my brain on trying to be okay with stacking my towels and, let's just say, starting fresh, right? Going over the store and being like, okay, I need 365s in gold, 365s in blue. I need FTWs in pink, FTWs in orange. I need Eagles in gray and red. I need Liquidators in blue. I need a Gauntlet. I need one 1500. I was thinking about, okay, if I were to start over and just build my lineup, right, and just say, this is my setup that I like to use for my specific purposes, where the heck would I even line these up in my cabinets.
Yeah.
Because, like, we have our drawers out here. That drawer system, I don't even like that drawer system. The reason why I don't like the drawer system is because we're only grabbing that topmost towel, using it, washing it, and that topmost towel goes down. We're not cycling through the towels adequately, right?
Sure.
We're just using the same one towel over and over and over again as we're going through these washes. So I would like a better way to figure out, like, how could I use everything as needed? And the only thing that comes into my head would be, like, literally like a chute, right? So, like, think of like a wall-mounted system where I drop my towels in folded, and it's like a tissue box, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pulling from the bottom, and it drops the next one down. Pull from that one, drops the next one down. Pull from that one, drops, and then I refill from the top. That way I'm using everything.
Almost like a dispenser where it just
like a dispenser.
through.
Yeah, like a towel dispenser. And so that's what makes the most sense to me, short of a rip and rag box for everything.
Right. I mean, ultimately, that's the direction you wind up going.
But yeah, as far as like maintenance and washing and stuff like that, I just know that keeping up with washing, the drying, and then from there, that process. Because some people I know will, and I've seen people, they'll go and take their microfiber towel, like their big old, armful of microfiber towels, and they throw them on their dining table or their kitchen table or in front of their TV, and they sit on their couch and they want to sit there and fold their towels. I'm so crazy that I go, I don't want my towels touching anything other than the barrel of my dryer into a plastic tote.
Yeah.
Would you say it's a little crazy, Dane?
I mean, it's crazy, but I get it.
I'm a little psycho about that kind of stuff because I don't want to fold onto other weird surfaces because I learned in the past that I've messed up before. I remember one time I went to go fold some towels on a countertop. My wife was doing some type of art project, and there was glitter, right, on the counter. I didn't know there was glitter on the countertop, right?
Ooh.
All of my towels, microfiber, glitter to microfiber is like moth to a flame. That just... it'll grab all of the glitter.
The microfiber is anywhere near it, it just goes...
And you'll never get rid of it. You'll never get rid of the glitter.
Sucks it right up.
It just sucks it right up. So I'm all about having this pure process. So if anybody else is similar to me, then let me know. But if you have any questions about that process or about how, microfiber should be treated, then I'm happy to answer those as well.
Well, I would say that's definitely something interesting because the viewership reflected that. So, we've got... Jeff C. here.
Works great on like accumulations of salt, but sometimes you get that thick buildup and you need to break out the big guns. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Then Ron a Yacht here. When the roads dry out, I'll take it to the paint spray and give it a rinse.
Yep.
Then bring it home and do a proper rinseless wash in my heated garage.
Ron, that's the vibes right there. Make sure you light a candle in the background.
Ooh.
Turn on the garage TV if you have one. Get some tunes going for no reason.
Set the mood.
Set the mood, man. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for this winter.
It's rinseless season.
I already have my little propane heater top thing in my garage. Dane knows how efficient that thing is.
Oh, it's efficient.
I got my Swiss Trax flooring now. Cannot wait to do a heated, rinseless wash garage. It's going to be amazing. Rinseless garage wash, yeah. Rinseless wash garage.
David.
Panera Bread literally sells muffin tops. Also, the Seinfeld show had an episode where Kramer was working at a bakery making muffin tops.
Just the tops. That's a great point. All right, we are on to page 2. Okay, we're getting there. Jeff, I use sorry, go ahead.
I use plastic containers with seals for my towels and separate them by type. Drying, pure paint safe, polish removal interior, then wheel utility towels. Demoted dirty towels are kept in bags. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it is probably put them into bags. Or what I do is I kind of like throw them around my garage. like not to make a mess, but like if I get them away from the other towels, then I will not be inclined to be like, oh no, I can still use these.
This one's pretty good.
Because I have some of our very first towels. I have Wizards. I have like things like towels that we've had from years and years and years
ago. Those original Eagles last.
That are still so good that I don't want to get rid of them. But at the same time, they're taking up space and they're taking up an efficiency process from my other towels. Yeah. And it's just clutter and it needs to go.
Fair. All right, we got Ere. I just keep saying his name now because I'm trying to like reinforce in my head that it's not Air, it's Ere.
Oh my God, read this, Dane.
Oh no.
And do it
simple. I'm gonna read it in a very like presenting you this dinner food.
Yeah, do it in a pretentious way.
Tonight we present to you a simple tomahawk steak this evening.
Simple.
Parsnips fries with horse chestnut and wild mushroom gravy and glass of 30-year-old Merlot. TRC.
What the-
Friday tomorrow.
What-
Life is good.
What the heck? What the heck, Aire? Is that? I mean, simple tom. Who says a simple tomahawk steak?
Excuse me while I have
What
a
the
simple
actual-
tomahawk.
Dude, let us come to your castle, please. I will infiltrate your castle. I'll have one of those like repelling, like the hook thing, like that. With the
Don't
rope.
mind if I do.
I'm gonna
Okay.
break into this place and ask, what's for dinner, because obviously you're having
In
all the
this
good
corner, a simple tomahawk. All right, Aire showing off.
stuff. Oh, we got
Fine
Ryan in the
detailing.
house from
Hey.
Fine Detail. Ryan, what's going on, dude?
Good to see you.
Good seeing you here in the chat.
Jeff, I
love
eat my muffin stump first. Then I leave the tops for last.
Yep.
Okay. It's like your vegetables before your dessert. I get it. David, I was the same way about tornado sirens, Dane. They always scared the crap out of me. Yeah, man. There's just something very specific in the tones they hit is, yeah, it's just very unsettling, especially if it's dark out and you have no clue where that tornado could be.
Yeah.
Oof.
Juice Free says, "What's up, gang? What's going on?
What's up, Juice?
You're back."
Back again. Tamara.
Dane, go for it.
Oh, okay. Speaking of typhoons, my grandfather lived through a Category 5 typhoon
Oh, wow.
on his destroyer in the 3rd Fleet in December of 1944. Holy cow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's cool that he was
that's
in the destroyer.
really cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, my grandpa was also out there, in the Pacific, but he was doing the island hopping thing, doing communications, so that's all cool, though. We've got Juice Free Rinseless Gang.
Yep.
Juice loves the rinseless. And now, I heard that the Rag Company is going to come out with a dope apron with a plastic lined pocket for a clay bar. Juice, you already said that. You definitely already said that, but you know you
We'll also have a
already
drink
said
holder
that.
too.
Oh, really?
Joey says, "I don't understand the appeal of leaving rinseless in a bucket and basing your purchases on that."
Joey,
Yeah.
I don't know why a lot of people do a lot of things, and yet they continue.
Well, because some people they want to save a little water. Some people want to be want to be a little bit more efficient. Want to
and that's really it. It's already a very efficient process. You're not spending a lot of money per wash compared to other wash methods.
you're looking at
it really is quite affordable.
couple capfuls is what 35 cents, 50 cents, something like that.
But even then, the sort of person who, it's almost like hypermiling. It's like, well, if I can do that, just how far can I stretch this? And they're like, let me see how far that dollar's going to take me.
Hypermiling people are crazy.
But
dude.
they're hypermiling their rinseless is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're saying, yeah, it worked on one wash, but can I keep it going? Can I keep the streak running without streaking? Joey, most of the stink comes from the nastiness
true.
you took off the vehicle
Very
anyway.
true.
Correct. Yeah. So I was going to say, that's why I said the dirt left in the bucket. That's a reason for the funk.
Most of that organic
smell.
material is
Yeah.
what that is.
As soon as you introduce it, you're looking
starts
at
to break down.
yeah. I mean, it's the same way anything decomposes over time. It's not going to smell great. Alkaline Topat, our good friend Dan.
If I enjoy PNS Absolute, are there any other rinseless washes I might want to try? I haven't tried the latest O&R yet. The slipperiness of it is a big draw for me. Honestly, Absolute's probably still going to be able to give you most of what you're looking for. Hero from ADS is probably right there with Absolute. Now, I don't think it's Absolute levels of slick, but I think that it's going to give you some of the same properties that you might really enjoy Hero. Hero's awesome.
Absolute is kind of its own thing in a way.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, your taste is going to differ depending on what you try, so we don't want to just dictate to you. Aaron, rinseless is so cost effective. I just dump it after one use.
Yeah.
And that is what a lot of people do, but I think it's because it's like a self-selecting audience, right? People who understand the concept of rinseless, they probably like the idea of efficiency, so they just keep taking it steps and steps further because they're already the type of person who thinks that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we've got a Hero comment from Joey because he loves Hero. And Aaron, the bucket solution. Okay. Jeff, Joey Belinsky agreed, Joey. I have so much rinseless on hand at this point. I just dump it and mix it up fresh every time. Jeff, don't feel bad. It's however you want to do it. At the end of the day, you're still going to be more efficient than anybody using soap out there. So that's the reality of it. Oh, no, not the Skyline. Sorry, the Metrovac.
Oh.
See, when you were talking about it being shipped, I was just like, yeah, vehicles get shipped, like specifically an imported
Metrovac.
vehicle.
Rocky Iverson, the Metrovac is coming soon.
Well, and think about the way
to an
he
island
phrased
near you.
the way he phrased his comment when he followed it up by
I know,
saying
I
the
know what
four
you're
door.
saying, yeah.
I'm just like, well, I'm pretty sure it's not a 4-door Metrovac.
Yeah.
Unless I missed something at SEMA and you didn't tell us. It's a SEMA vac you can ride in.
Grand Master of the Year 2025, Jeff C. Who knows? Potentially. Maybe.
Jeff, are you going to sign up? Are you going to try it?
We'll see.
Harry.
Dane is looking trim, Dane.
Thanks,
Good job.
buddy. I don't know if anybody has heard, but I have lost 30 pounds in the last few months. So I'm working on it. We are getting there. And now I am in weight training. So that's just going to finally build out these old noodly arms into something worthwhile. I'm not looking to look like Anthony in his prime or anything like that, because let's be honest, who can, right? And even Anthony doesn't do that anymore.
I can't look like that ever. I can't look like that ever again. That's why I did it once. I did it once. Now I
want to lose the gut, and I just want to build up a little bit in the shoulders, the pecs, and just be happy with that, and we'll be good.
Dane, I want to turn you into a specimen.
Well,
I want to turn you into my
just like you're just gonna dentist me like I'm Mac.
Yeah, turn you into a perfect creature.
Ari, I really appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you for noticing. These cameras aren't always the kindest to our fingers.
No, not usually. Yeah,
because right now it just looks like we're
not usually to the crotch section here. It's kind of a weird shot.
And to be fair, we are contemplating solutions for that, because this room can't change enough. Apparently,
it can't change enough. I just want a normal freaking chair. What I want.
I tried so many ways to make it better.
I just want a normal, just sit. I just want to sit.
You just want the desk again, don't you?
Sit in the desk again, man. Bearded Tony, let's go. I will never.
Joey, encourage him, please.
Can't wait to shave this.
No, I want to see Anthony actually try growing facial hair. I'll trade. I'll when I lose enough weight, I'm just going to shave this all off, and you're going to finally see. Even I haven't seen it for the better part of 15 years, 10, 15 years, something like that.
No, you shaved.
I did shave one time by accident.
You shaved like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was weird.
It's because I screwed up, and I was like, oh no. And then I had to shave it to be even, and it looked close to full. Yeah. That's true. I forgot about that, but you're right. Oh. Well, we look like brothers. Joey, yes.
Moving on.
David?
Vote for Bearded Tony.
See, David gets it. Everybody, vote for Bearded Tony.
Dane,
let's encourage him.
We got 3 minutes.
I know. I'm dragging it out.
I gotta grab some content from Jimmy here.
Strap and stash. Oh, that was Jeff. Fine detailing. I have a video coming on OPT versus Built Hammer.
Nice,
I got you. Nice. Joey.
Chin strap and the handlebar mustache might be the move. It might be.
Oh, dear. Fine detailing, I'm here for it, but I'm guessing you don't have much road salt down where you're at. Well, Joey, he's got those mean palms, though. David.
My current towel storage solution is clear totes in the garage, separated by purpose and type of towel. At work, I will admit it's bougie. I have it organized in a snap-on. That's pretty bougie. Yes.
Wow. All right.
That is nice, though. I have one drawer dedicated to paint correction. Okay.
Okay. And then from here, I go on to page 1.
Yep.
All right.
And page 1 here.
Didn't wash my wife's car for a month. Oh, I bet she wasn't too happy about that.
Ryan says, I'm with you, Anthony. Totes all the way. I think so, man. I think the tote is the only answer. I've got 4 totes of excess microfiber in addition to what's in circulation in the garage. Y'all created a monster. Sorry, Joey. It's true, man. There's never enough totes. I actually used to have like 7 or 8 totes.
Yeah.
And I actually downsized it to where I think I'm down to 5.
Okay.
Because 3 are visible, 2 are in the cabinet right now. Yeah. Man. So 5.
Ryan Rigdon
says, I had a hard time letting them go. My average towel is probably at 100 washes plus washes. Wow. Yeah.
Well, they can survive that and then
you're not alone, but no, they can absolutely survive that. It's more so just I have stuff that's going on years and years and years old that I need to move on.
For perspective, our all-purpose terriers at one time were tested at dairy farms. They were washed in excess of 900 to 1,000 times before finally being retired. The catch was they didn't generally dry them in a machine. They generally air-dried them. So,
Ron says he has 4 Sterilite 3-drawer bins. Fold the towels in half, then roll them. I get more towels in the drawer that way. Ron, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
The rolling is not a bad idea there.
And Joey saying, I will roll mine too. Ron saying, great minds think alike. Carl?
Anthony, you're making me laugh at the moment. I'm all in inventory, and I'm all in about cycling my inventory. I do the same with my towels. I wash and I rotate them when I put them away. Dude, it has to be, I gotta rotate through inventory because otherwise, like, I just don't want to use the same freaking towel over and over again because now I'm just using a towel. I don't know. I mean, it's just not... they're not wearing evenly. It's like using one tire when you need to wear all 4.
You're not rotating them like you should. So, Carl, I'm going to recycle Ron's comment and say, great minds think alike. Okay, then we got Ron here.
I classify my towels as drying, coating, paint-worthy, general cleaning, and grunge. Paint-worthy, I like that. Towels get downgraded from paint-worthy to grunge. Grunge towels get tossed in the uber grunge. Nice, Ron. That's a good system.
Nice.
Paint-worthy is a good classification for that. David says, so you think we could have someone from Buffinshire Lake Country on the Q&A for some pad questions?
It's a good idea. We could definitely manage that, I think. Yeah. Then we got Hydra Detailing here. Hi, all. David Dertier here. Love the Christmas card and TRC Christmas ball sticker. Yeah.
Nice. Hydra, congratulations on the business and getting things going, dude.
That's a big deal. That's a lot of hard work. Congratulations, and good to see you here.
Nice.
We're nearing the top.
Adrian says, I'm so happy. I went from rags to riches. Detailing therapy. Nice.
Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate that.
And then I personally dump my rinses after use. I tend to forget about it until it's smelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my plants love use rinseless. I don't know why.
You know what? I'm not saying that it's necessarily good for them, but I've heard more than enough times to believe it's more than just anecdotal. People putting like O&R or something in their plants, like Levi would always say at their shop, they'd pour it on the plants outside, and the plants were happy. They liked it. Yeah, it didn't hurt them one bit.
It doesn't kill them at all.
So, I mean...
Been dumping rinseless in my lawns for years. Guarantee. No issues.
And it's not like you made burn spots, but your dogs will put burn spots out there. No problem.
one P mark dead, right? But like...
But O&R?
But O&R, no.
Happy as a clam. All right.
Congrats, Dane, says Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that.
Then Beefcake Dane, let's go.
Uh-oh.
He is yearning for a churning. Am I right, Dane?
Oh, no. We can't be having that.
Jesse says, looking good, Dane. Congrats.
Jeff, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I want to see Dane with Mr. Incredible build.
Girl flexibility. Yeah. Oh, at this old thing?
Yeah, Dane will still be able to kick his leg behind his head. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Congrats, Dane. I dropped 35 pounds and I've kept it off. It wasn't easy, but worth it. Nice, Ron.
Congrats.
That's the way.
Your body thanks you. Your future self thanks you.
Yep.
And then we got David here.
Anthony, keep the beard. You're guaranteed to score at Brawny Towel commercial.
Yeah. No, I think a beard would really suit him. It's something new for him to try.
This is a crappy, patchy beard. This isn't right.
It's the weird in-between phase. You let it grow out a little bit. You start investing in oils and soft aids. Oh, it'll be amazing. You'll have that luscious beard in no time. Just, hang on that. You don't want a luscious beard.
No, not at all. Thanks for live, guys. Have a great weekend. Anthony, when will the stout video be out? Soon.
Ooh. Close.
Soon.
And Adrian here. Now used wheel cleaner killed my grass. Well, used wheel cleaner and rinseless are two very different kinds of products.
We'll do that.
And on that note, we are caught up on the comments. So
awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Everybody who is here with us today. I know it seems like lately it's been less people on the lives, but the same number of people ultimately watch these videos. So I don't know where everybody's at.
It's holiday season, baby.
It's holiday season. It's got to be that. And maybe if we tried an episode where we started an hour later and saw if we caught more people, it seems like the numbers went up as we went later here. So something to consider again. Anyway, guys, if you're having a good time and you enjoyed this, please hit like on your way out the door if you haven't already. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in. And if you leave a comment below, it helps us in the algorithm as well. Give us some ideas on things you'd like to talk about in the future, things I could theme future Q&A episodes about. And, we'll give it a ponder. So with that said, have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.
See ya.